there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. Almost like... It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now back to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they get him down. But not before he takes it across.
Yo, y'all hear me now? There we go. Huh?
Have a piece broken yet?
A what?
A piece of their...
No. This piece disconnects, and it disconnects. All right.
The 40-yard line. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. fakes a spike. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sheldon Richardson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
He's got his man on the crossing route. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Come in.
He's already got 2 catches.
Julian asked to use the remote, right?
The opening drive, they know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
I know in most cases people think you throw the ball in this situation, and when they ran, it almost felt like a little bit of a surrender, maybe a give up. But I don't know if that's really the case. They might have been probing a little bit, checking the defense and filing it away for later. They might have something working later on.
And tough starting field position here. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll run it here. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Partner, I think that play echoed a short yardage run. I know they were backed up against their own goal line, but when they stack the defensive line like that, if you find any type of a crease, you're up to the 3rd level before you know it.
And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jarrell Freeman in on the stop. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
Offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up 1st downs. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Complete here to Gary Barnidge. They'll get 23 yards there. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10. They run the counter now on 1st down. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of... Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Surveying the field. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They're going to look to throw. He's going to let this, a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Orlando Scandrick.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. Jordan Matthews all by himself. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jordan Matthews, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
And now here comes Kansas City. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Just 2 yards to go here on 2nd down for the offense. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Lawrence Timmons, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup. And that'll be good for a KC first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
They'll come out in the pistol. Back to throw now on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit. I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And Forbath will put this one through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Gun. They'll look to throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on third down.
Pass situation.
Looking to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
4 down. Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Left side, caught by Matthews. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jordan Matthews with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And oh, it's blocked. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're... back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Cruz has it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. The grab made by Curse over the middle. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw again. Going right side here, and that's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. And he puts it through. They're within 3. It's 13-10.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. They come out here in the eye. He'll drop to throw. Finding time. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sterling Moore. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. So I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Forbath will put this one through, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. And that 3-point tally now means we are even here toward the end of the second quarter.
And what a way to end the half. Put some points on the board, feel better about yourselves as a team, and you're right back to even.
And he'll get it up just past the 20, and so this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the third quarter. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Steelers defense getting ready here for this next possession. All even, we are tied, so a blank slate. Throw away those first 2 quarters, so to speak.
Yeah, I love the way you put it because you do throw them away because it's a 0-0, but you also have a couple of lessons from the first half. What did you learn? What do you have to improve on? And then you get to start the second half and put it all into practice.
They'll try to take those halftime lessons and put them into practice indeed. Here we go. Second down following the run.
Single. 84. Who's got 84? Check 84. Here we go now. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Barnage has it on the right side. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. This is taken at about the 14. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell your guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Jeffrey with a catch left side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Looking to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. A gain of 11 and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Second down following the incompletion. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. So still in search of the first down after that last completion.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Pass interference, defense.
So pass interference on the defense. Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
They'll look to throw. Left side caught by Matthews. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jordan Matthews with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Chiefs defense here ready to head back out onto the field. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all all across the league. One of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky, preach. He'll look to throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense.
Here we go. Green 39.
We're back now in KC. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It's 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the offense. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is...
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead. And he'll bang that one through. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. They'll drop to throw. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defender.
Hey guys, I'm about to come back and finish this game later. I gotta head out. Wait, not playing against me.